Mario is a franchise that saw a ton of love and support from Nintendo in 2023 with new game announcements and releases. If you just look back at what we saw happen in 2023, we had a brand new 2D Mario platformer launch in the form of Super Mario Bros. Wonder that is honestly the most fun I've had with a Mario game probably since Super Mario World in the SNES, especially when it comes to the 2D platforming side of the Mario series. We also saw WarioWare Move It release on November 3rd in 2023, which of course is also tied to the Mario franchise. You have Super Mario RPG that released on November 17th, 2023, an excellent remake of a timeless SNES classic, and we saw the final 3 waves of the Booster Course Pass DLC for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe also get their release dates within 2023. Well, now as we put the bow on 2023 and shift our eyes to what's ahead in 2024, we actually already have a lot of confirmed Mario projects to look forward to, and I will briefly mention those, but the purpose of this video is to more talk about what we could likely see from Nintendo that is unannounced in terms of Mario games coming in 2024, amongst all of the rumors heating up that we could be potentially looking at new Nintendo Switch hardware at some point next year. So if you're a Nintendo fan, if you're a Mario fan, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on your bell notification to join Sunbro Nation if you're new here. And with that, we will first talk about the few confirmed Mario games that we know to expect to release in 2024 before diving through the more fun titles that we could see that we don't know about yet. We first up have Mario vs. Donkey Kong on February 16th, 2024 with that exact release date. This is of course a Game Boy Advance era remake of Mario vs. Donkey Kong. It's a strategy puzzle platformer. Looks fun and enticing to me as somebody who has not really gotten into the Mario vs. Donkey Kong universe, but also not one that I have super high expectations for, especially when it comes from a length perspective. It's probably going to be a shorter, simpler game. I believe it's retailing at a $50 price point. I could be wrong about that. Hopefully it's not a full 60, but nonetheless, if you have nostalgia for the old school Mario vs. Donkey Kong games, or if you're somebody who skipped out on most of the series like I have and you're excited to see what it has to offer, you don't have to wait too much longer, as that is out again February 16th, 2024, also in the Mario universe, of course. March 22nd, just the following month, we have Princess Peach Showtime, and this of course is a game that is also in the Mario universe, but we see Peach with her own mainline game. This is very exciting because Peach is not typically the main protagonist. Nintendo's being very clever with this one, and when it comes to a visual presentation standpoint, it looks like you're a part of some kind of live performance play, with the red curtains being drawn back at times. Of course, a lot of the props and enemies on screen have like strings attached to them, and then what's cool is that Peach's ability set does change dramatically based off of which costume she is wearing. So how she moves as a sword fighter is totally different than how she moves as a detective. We haven't seen a ton of the gameplay that this game will have to offer in terms of like one of more Nintendo's in-depth overview trailers, but we do know to expect it out on March 22nd as mentioned, so I don't think we'll have to wait too much longer for yet another look at Princess Peach Showtime. Now from there we have Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, that of course is also a Mario Universe game. This has a release date of 2024, but the actual exact release date has not yet been confirmed, although it was spotted recently that this game has been rated by the ESRB, likely meaning that Nintendo is essentially done with this game. We know Nintendo sits on games for months and months, sometimes years before they actually release them, so this could drop really at any given time in 2024, depending on how Nintendo sees it fit into their broader release calendar overall. And I would expect that by the next Nintendo Direct, likely taking place in February, that we will have an exact launch date for this game. From there, the big Mario Universe remaster / remake that we have to look forward to in 2024 is none other than Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. This also has a confirmed release for 2024. It has also been rated by the ESRB, and we know that it's likely done or close to done, and we will probably see this release at some point in the early or middle part of the year. I could almost see it being one of Nintendo's summertime releases, something like a May or June, and it will be great to have arguably one of the best Mario RPG games of all time period, probably the best Paper Mario game or the most beloved by many fans out there. Bonus, let me know what your favorite Paper Mario game is in the comments down below, but this one should be out at some point in the first half of the year, hopefully. If not, Nintendo could save it for a later half of 2024 game, but either way, it's looking incredible from what we've seen so far, and it will be out in 2024, confirmed by Nintendo themselves. And from there, we have the more fun part of the list, which is what is not not been yet confirmed by Nintendo. Now, as I mentioned earlier, 2024 has a lot of eyes and expectations on it for the potential for Nintendo to actually launch their brand new next generation Nintendo Switch hardware. Now, it might not be called the Switch. A lot of people call it the Switch 2, myself included, just for simplicity's sake, but we don't know what Nintendo's working on, other than if you pay attention to a lot of leaks and rumors, it's likely yet another hybrid console, and there is an outstanding rumor that this console is set to launch with a brand new 3D Mario iteration, and that's where I want to start, because I do think that that is the most likely candidate. Nintendo likes to launch new consoles with either Mario or Zelda games, and clearly Tears of the Kingdom just recently came out on the Nintendo Switch in 2023, so Mario is the next best fit that could push this console into that must-own category for a lot of Mario fans out there, and I think that we finally see what's next for the mainline 3D Mario franchise. It's hard to believe, but as of 2024, it will be 7 years since the release of Super Mario Odyssey, so clearly Nintendo has had plenty of time to craft up something new for Mario, whether or not it's going to be more on the side of a open world exploration or just open zone, maybe similar to that Bowser's Fury style layout where you can really see things that are far off into the distance and you're not having to load into traditional levels near as much. I don't know, we will have to wait and see. Odyssey had giant zones as well, but Nintendo may go even more massive than that. It could also be branded Mario Odyssey 2, although I'm not opposed to Nintendo coming up with something entirely brand new. If anything, Mario Bros. Wonder really cemented my mindset that the Mario teams are more creative than ever, so if it's something entirely new, that's great. If it's Odyssey 2, that's great. If it's Galaxy 3, that's another awesome thing for me, but I do think we should likely see something from the next iteration of the mainline 3D Mario series in 2024. Mario Kart 8 has been around technically since 2014, since we saw it re-released and resold on the Nintendo Switch after its original Wii U release in 2014, which means, yes, if you did the math, that is actually 10 full years for the same Mario Kart game. Now, what I don't think Nintendo will necessarily do is launch a new Mario Kart and a new 3D Mario in the same year. They could do that if they really wanted to obliterate the sales for the next gen console, but I think that these games will be spaced out and not launched right alongside each other. And get subscribed, because in a upcoming video, we will be diving into more in depth what Nintendo could potentially do with the future of the Mario Kart franchise, but there is at least the possibility that we find out and or can actually play what is next in the Mario Kart franchise in 2024, and we will just have to wait and see what they actually reveal to us. And will it be called Mario Kart 9, or do they treat Tour as 9 and it's actually Mario Kart 10? And does it go in the ultimate direction with a ton of character support from various different franchises and Nintendo IP? And how do they top 96 playable courses that they now have as part of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe? Well, that's potentially on the table in 2024. From there, we do have the possibility that instead of getting the next mainline 3D Mario game, maybe Nintendo goes a little bit more of a simple path and just ports one of the most beloved 3D Mario games from the past that is still missing as a playable title on the Nintendo Switch, which is none other than Super Mario Galaxy 2. We had the fantastic collection of 3D Mario games released in the form of Super Mario 3D All-Stars, but the big glaring omission from that collection is Super Mario Galaxy 2, which has some incredible levels and some of the best platforming in a 3D Mario game, period. Yoshi makes for an excellent companion throughout the game, awesome power-up, story, and lore all throughout. Hopefully Nintendo one day, if not in 2024, at least one day in the future, does bring back that classic 3D Mario game and make it easily accessible on modern consoles once again, because as of right now, as mentioned, it is just flat out missing. Something in the Mario Party universe is also on the table, in my opinion, for 2024. We saw very successful sales numbers from both Super Mario Party and Mario Party Superstars on the Nintendo Switch, and especially if we are talking about new Nintendo console hardware next year, I could see Nintendo wanting to throw a new Mario Party game into the holiday lineup for 2024. I was really just hoping that we would get Mario Party Superstars DLC and give us more playable boards and mini games, but it looks like Nintendo's not going to do that at this point in time unless they throw us a curveball and do it way later on like they did for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It seems like Mario Party Superstars is what it is at this point, and maybe they will just go in an entirely new direction. I am hopeful that they stick to the more traditional button style controls that we have in Mario Party Superstars, but maybe just craft something brand new from the ground up, and providing they put enough love and support into the mini games and into the boards, I think that it will continue to sell well and be yet another really good installment in the Mario Party franchise. From there, you do have some outstanding rumors that we might see yet another Mario sports game. Most recently, we had Mario Strikers Battle League launch on June 10th of 2022, and it's not uncharacteristic of Nintendo to pump out a Mario sports game every couple or few years, so maybe we will see a Mario baseball game come out next, and there were some outstanding rumors around a Mario baseball game being in the pipeline somewhere, so we will see if that's what Nintendo has up their sleeves or not for 2024 for the plumber when it comes to his sports outings next. And besides that, there's always the loose possibility that we get a couple more spin-off games. Mario versus Sonic something could come back. We could see a Yoshi platforming game. We could see Toad make a return with some kind of treasure tracker game. You never know, but 2024 is shaping up to be a very exciting year for new Nintendo game releases, especially if we do indeed see the confirmation that new hardware will be launching in that year. And that's where I really want to hear from you guys at this point in the video, your personal thoughts and opinions around which Mario games we may see revealed and released in the year of 2024, and which ones on my list are you most hopeful that we see, and which ones do you think have the higher likelihood of being released, and which ones that are not on my list are you personally hoping for in 2024. So regardless of your thoughts and feelings on everything we talked about today, I do look forward to hearing from you all in the comments down below before you leave the video, as I do look forward to getting a back and forth conversation started with you all around these topics. Go watch the video on screen next if you haven't already. Also make sure you like, subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next video.